Saudi Arabia does not have nuclear power, they do not have manufacturing superpower, and they do not have fresh water for their own people. And if you think oil is what makes them powerful, think again. Iraq, Iran, Libya, and Venezuela all have massive oil reserves in their countries, but their economies are like practically dead. Their countries are flat out by Americans, but that same America is protecting Saudi Arabia with its own army. So the question is, what is so special about Saudi Arabia, and why a nuclear superpower like America is acting like a bodyguard while destroying other oil-rich nations? To answer this question, we have to go back in 1970 when the US economy almost going to be bankrupt. After the World War II, the US had 70% of the world gold reserves, and US told the world to use US dollar as the global trade currency. And they said, if you give us $35, we will give you an ounce of gold. So the US dollar was backed by the gold reserves. But America got greedy and printed more money. By 1970, the America hold only 10 millions of gold reserves, $10 million of gold reserves, but the world hold 50 to 60 billion dollars of US dollars. So Europe and France figured this out, and they go to the US Treasury and demanded their gold back in against of $3 billion. If the whole world tries to exchange the gold for the US dollars, the America will be destroyed. So in August 1971, the US president told the whole world that they are temporarily stopping the exchange of gold to dollars. But the US economy did not collapse. Why? Because the US have realized that you can run a nation without gold, but you cannot run a nation without oil. And the Saudi Arabia was sitting on the world's largest and the cheapest oil reserves. And in 1974, America made 20th century greatest deal with the Saudi Arabia. They offered unlimited and unconditional American army and offered cutting edge weapons to the Saudi Arabia. In return, they say Saudi Arabia needs to sell and price the oils in the US dollars, and they have to reinvest the oil profits back into the US treasury. This masterstroke was called the petrodollar recycling. And because Saudi was the OPEC leader, Kuwait, Iraq, and UAE had to or were forced to follow the same thing. But Saudi Arabia knows that there are no permanent friendship in the geopolitics, and America can anytime drop off their friendship. So Saudi Arabia secured their ultimate weapon. They secured the oil refineries which were made by the Americans and Britishers. When Libya and Venezuela wanted their oil back, they simply sent armies to the refineries and kicked the Americans out. Result, America got angry and destroyed their whole nation. But when Saudi Arabia wanted their oil back, they did not send armies, they sent accountants and treat US as their business partner. In 1973, Saudi Arabia bought 25% of shares of Aramco for $500 million. And in that same year, when the oil prices shot up, they bought 35% more of the company. And by 1980, they acquired 100% of the company. But to make the deal irresistible, the Saudi Arabia told America that you are expert in refining the oil, so keep doing it and we will give you billions of dollars as a service fee. And this was one of the greatest power loop generation in the history. First, Saudi Arabia gives billions of dollars to the American oil companies. Second, oil companies use this cash and fund the US elections. The third is the favorite politician stays in the powers, and in return, the US military is deployed to protect the Saudi Arabia. And if any US senator tries to abandon the Saudi Arabia, the powerful corporates in America cut the fundings of their elections and ruin their whole careers. So when you try to take things with force, the destruction is invited. But when you curate a win-win deal situation, the deal became far more powerful than the weapon itself.